Fight fans, I'm back to Carl Cruz at MMA. We got a recurring guest to the show. It means he's got a fight. This time, the land down under. He's headed to Australia May 2nd. He's taking on Ben Johnston. He is Mr. Party Time. He is Wesley Schultz. Wes, what's good, my friend? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing sweet. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Always an honor and an absolute blast to have you on here. So last time out, you fought over in Mexico. Well, now you're sticking with the international theme and you're going across the world to Australia. Yeah. When they came at you with Australia, was this a no-brainer but to say yes?
Yeah, man. It was like, I think I had just been knocked out 36 hours prior. I had I had like a chili dog in my hand. And I was in Las Vegas. I was like, oh, well, I haven't even stepped foot back on Wisconsin soil, but I mean, what are you going to do? Usually you got to, think about losses for months, but it's like, shit, I can get right back in there. Hell yeah. It's a way to go.
Not to harp on it too much, but last time out, obviously, Damian Pinas didn't go your way. What are some positives? What are some learning things we're taking from that fight?
Fuck, man. I guess just going to Mexico is kind of cool. Mexico City's sweet. It does not put you in the mood to fight, though. You know what I mean? It's nice. The cities are clean. I was in the mood to settle down, have kids, and send them to Catholic school. That's how nice it was down there. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I was like, fuck, I gotta get angry and try to fight some guy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You made your debut, now officially UFC fighter, looking for your second fight. Having made the debut now, has this calmed any nerves? Has it made it more realistic? Do you feel like a UFC fighter now?
Yeah. Just going through the whole process once makes it, I feel like it's going to be infinitely easier. Although I wonder how, I haven't really been, I guess it was a little different in Mexico because they had the PI there. So it's almost like a little bit more like a Vegas show where you have that like the week of as a resource. So being in, a very remote, I think the most remote large city on earth, I'm interested to see how they set everything up, the resources we have, like fight week, what we get to use and stuff.
Absolutely. You train at a very big gym over in the Wisconsin area. Obviously yourself, Mr. Nick Klein, Montel Jackson, Cortavius Ramos, all these big names over there. What's it like training at Pura Vida? What's the gym been like lately?
It's spring's always a busy time because we host classes for UW Milwaukee, so it's like it just feels like it's so full all the time because there's so many more people in like when there's college classes going on. I felt a little empty tonight though. Most the coaches were gone to Vegas to go coach Montel this weekend. So next time I see them, we'll be in the Southern Hemisphere. So hopefully usually they kind of get me through the airports. I'm not much of a traveler, so this will be my first time flying alone.
When you think Wisconsin, when you think that Midwest area, you don't initially think fighting, but there's been a lot of fighters that's come out of it. Obviously, Rufus Sport, Duke Rufus has his roots out there. The Showtime Pettis' brother, Mearshart out there, Macy Barbershart out there, all those big names. What is it with that area and fighting?
There's not a whole lot of other things to do. What the fuck else are you going to do? Pretty much. You can only go fishing so much. Well, if you're in like a Midwestern city, it's like kind of city, but also it's not like it has that many big city things to do. I guess there's a strong wrestling culture. But and also I feel like once you have success, it kind of draws other people, It's like you don't see fucking UFC fighters sprouting up in like Eau Claire or something. You know what I mean? Like there's gyms, but it's hard to get to the next level. You gotta move to where the experience is.
You know, in addition to fighting, we've talked about before, you're also a big outdoors guy. You like to fish, you like to hunt. What is it with those hobbies? Is that, do you think, just being part of a fighter? Do you see any similarities between it being very primal?
Shit. Maybe the hunting. I don't mind like gutting deer and cutting them up and stuff. It's kind of fun. It's a good time. But I mean, also that's just with the nature of being the Midwest is still still has rural roots. It's not like that many people grow up on farms anymore, but most people's parents or the grandparents, they did. And usually in families, there'll always be like one person that still has like access to land or something to do that on, which is nice.
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy when you look at the life of a fighter. It's such a journey. It's such a sacrifice, such a roller coaster. You've had the highest of highs. You've had the lowest of lows over your journey here. Now being in the UFC, have you been able to kind of look back and reflect at what got you here?
Yeah, kind of. I have been comparing a lot of my like regional fights to my UFC experience. Man, I used to think going out to Vegas to fight was like a bitch. Man, flying to like Mexico and I had to go to Australia. Like I used to be able to just drive up to fucking Prior Lake, Minnesota, go fight on the LFA cards there, and that was like a blast. And like it's like, oh, like even your fight week's like nothing crazy till like you drive up there like Wednesday night. But now I gotta always leave like a week early. Mexico was 2 weeks I was gone. It's a lot more of a rigmarole, which isn't bad, but it's a lot different. Or even if you fight in Milwaukee, I've taken Lime scooters down to the fucking bar where we host our fights here. It's a lot different than hopping on a plane for 25 hours.
Absolutely. When you hop on that plane for 25 hours, when you land, eventually you're going to be fighting Ben Johnston, a guy making his debut in the UFC from that area out there. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent?
He's a tough Muay Thai guy. Bet you he's going to cut me with some elbows a few times. Blood's a great lube for chokes. He's long, he's rangy, he likes to kick your legs and stuff, what all the Muay Thai guys like to do. Man, it should be a battle. And I genuinely believe that. I'm not even sure where I really am on the card.
Do you find it to be beneficial at all that you're coming into this one with more experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Even like just knowing you're gonna have a fight, like I think I had like 3 months notice ahead of time. It made me feel pretty calm when it actually, came to happen. But I'm not sure when he found out about this and just thinking like, it's not like this guy went on a show to go do this or something. It's not like he went on Contender Series or The Ultimate Fighter. So, 3 months ago, this guy did not know he was going to be a UFC fighter. Now he is. Got to be a lot, a lot happening quick for him.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned not knowing where you are on the card. It looks like you're going to be the third fight of the night on the card. So it looks like it's towards the end of the early prelims.
I fell upwards.
Yes. It looks like an improvement from being the first one out in Mexico.
Yeah, there we go.
Do you like going out in there? Do you like being one of the first fights of the night?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, man. You don't get paid more. I guess you do. There's correlation between being later on the card and getting paid more, but it's not like a one-to-one thing. You know what I mean? And you might as well. I love going first. You don't exactly when you're gonna fight. There's no like you kind of warm up, then like someone gets like a nut shot, so you gotta fucking cool down again, and then that can be very annoying. Knowing you're walking like at 2 or at 3, it's nice.
In the past, we talked about you really have one of these humble blue collar type lifestyles. Obviously, you're a fighter, you're training, you're still working at the bar. Is that still what's going on? How's that been?
Yeah, man, it's been smooth getting into the busy season here though. Once everyone says drinking outside, we got a real big, nice patio section, and that fills up and makes my job way harder. But man, summers in Milwaukee are great. We had every weekend. There's shit going on. It's like a town of festivals, which is it's not like I really go to any because I'm always working. But just knowing that they're out there and happening is groovy. The city feels alive. It smells bad, but it feels alive.
What are some of those reactions like when people come up to you at the bar, they figure out you're a UFC fighter? Any funny moments there?
Well, it's usually when I'm busy, then they start trying to talk to me. I'm like, motherfucker, what do you want? Like, it's always like a regular. He'll know, like, oh, this guy's in the UFC. It's like, why would you say that? It's fucking busy. Say it when it's slow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have time for this right now. Like, these are fancy cocktails. Everything takes forever. I don't need to be talking to people while I'm doing it. Or at least talking with nonsense.
Absolutely. We talked about before the sacrifices it takes to be a fighter. You've been doing this for a very long time now. You're at the biggest promotion in the world. For you, how do you think you have grown and evolved as a person from competing in martial arts?
Ooh. Probably a lot more humble, I assume. Like, I used to think I could kick the shit out of anybody when I was like a wrestler. And then like doing like martial like actual fighting martial arts. Like, oh, this is not the same. These are two different things entirely. Also, just I don't know, just living like a non-normal life. Like this has made me not do a 9 to 5. I don't think I would have gotten back into the fucking service industry had I not been fighting. And it makes me think about shit I want to do after fighting. It totally changed. Like, I don't know if I really want to go back to like a 9 to 5, unless it's like, there's a plan to use that money for something. I mean, it feels like I've been working 2 jobs with all the training and then like the working on top of it. I just feel like eventually, like when I stop doing sports, it'll be like I'll have a crazy amount of time. Unless I have kids, then they'll probably even out. I don't get how people fight and have kids.
No, definitely a crazy lifestyle. I think an interesting point a lot of fighters, I think, don't always consider right away is you can't obviously fight forever. There's a very short window of when guys can fight. Have you recognized that already? Are you already thinking of things maybe after doing things, putting things aside, recognize that you're not here forever?
I've always thought about life after sports. Like in high school, I was like, man, I can't wait to like not cut weight and shit anymore. And then I was like, I guess I'm going to college. Then after college, I was like, fuck, you know what? I can't wait to like get into ice fishing. I bought a pair of skis. Then I discovered MMA because I never even like watched it until I was like my last year of college. Like I was training already, before I started watching it. I was a man grown. Those skis don't get very much use. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone fantasizes about like, ooh, imagine when I have this time. But a lot of people, I feel like they get there and then they've never learned any hobbies or to do anything besides like watch TV or shit. And you can get a lot of your time back if you start making enough money to like not work. That's a big thing. But some people squander it. I've watched people squander it. I've had roommates that have made it, and then I'm like, what the fuck else are you doing with the rest of your day? Nothing.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up here, one thing I want to do is I want to go through some big fights coming up and get your predictions like we usually do. So after you get done fighting, the main event is an absolute banger in Australia. You got Jack Della taking on Carlos Prates. Who wins this one?
Fuck. Well, how was Prates' last fight? Did he win?
Prates, I believe, knocked out Leon Edwards.
And Jack doesn't really wrestle that much, right?
No, not really. Predominantly,
his defensive wrestling looked really good versus Islam, but I mean, you can only do so much. I gotta go Prates. but you never know. It's hard to bet him against a man with a nose that crooked, because it's like he looks like he's been through some shit, you know. Like this is a man that's clearly been hit very hard many times. Prata's just, I don't even get where he gets his power from. Like, you know, he looks like a dude that just kind of smokes cigs outside the bar, and then he just whoops people's asses. And he has the momentum. I'm going with Prates. I don't know. There might be a riot if he wins, though. I'd be more worried if Prates wins than I would about the unrest that was happening in Mexico when I was down there. You know, I might not see my home country again. Things start getting hairy out there.
You know, a week later, they're in Newark. Co-main event's pretty good one there. Title on the line. Joshua Van taking on Tatsuro Taira. Who wins that?
Joshua Van via freak injury. Again. No one expects it to happen a second time. You know, and that would be the funniest. I mean, it's not funny when people get injured, but that would twice. I think it's going to happen again.
Definitely would be an insane prediction if that happens. Later that night, main event, your division, big title fight. Sean Strickland trying to win gold against Hazmat Chimaev. Who wins this?
I'm taking Strickland. I'm going for the American.
You know, when you're watching those two guys, or the big 185ers in the division, does that pump you up?
Yeah. If it's like a good fight. If it's one of them just getting the shit rocked by someone, I'm thinking like, oh shit, man. Like, that's my division. Like I'll be sitting in the bar sometimes, like after I get off work, like watching the last couple fights of the night. I'll hear people like talking shit and stuff, and I'm thinking like, talk your shit. Like I might have to fight with these guys one day. Like there's a reasonable path where I get my, you know, where I gotta get locked in the cage with some of these guys fighting at middleweight, which makes watching it way weirder. Or if there's like two middleweights fighting that are like not ranked, I'm thinking like, can they both lose? Like, you know, like I'm not a fanboy. Like I'm in this division, so fuck them.
You know, you mentioned hearing comments, people talking smack. For you, obviously, social media is a big part of the fight game now. Everyone's on Twitter. Everyone's on Instagram. All these casual fans constantly, all these comments. You see these GIFs. You see memes. Has any comment, meme, image of you that you've seen stuck out, maybe made you laugh since you joined the UFC? Any funny one-liners?
Just dudes talking mad shit about me. I clicked on one of the profiles and I was like, dude, you live in Milwaukee. Like, you probably live within a mile of me, you piece of shit. Like,
do you get any laughs to that? I mean, do you take offense to it? It's just part of the game. How do you take it?
It is part of the game. Like, MMA fans kind of suck. There's a reason they watch MMA. They're not welcome in any other fandoms. You know?
Absolutely. Well, Wes, last question for you, my friend. Here we are getting ready for the fight, about a week and a half. In a perfect world, what is the outcome when you take on Ben Johnston when you return to the UFC in Australia?
Win via finish, second round. I'm going this time. I said first round finish last time, kind of backfired on me. Second round finish this time. I've learned. Older and wiser now. Second round finish, get that 50K so I can hand over 35% of it to the Australian government.
100K now, by the way.
Not for finishes. That's just for fight of the night and
performance
of the night. I have to do something crazy.
Absolutely.
There's a bunch of good strikers on the card. I'd have to do a crazy submission. I'm not gonna knock someone out crazy enough. Like that's gonna go to like Jack and Carlos or something. Someone with dynamite hands. Unless I throw like a retarded kick or something.
There you go. Well, Wes, thank you so much for catching up with me again. Can't wait to see the fight. Can't wait to hopefully see some fireworks.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for us today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Carl Perzi. It's Mr. Party Time. He is Wes Schultz. You can watch him May 2nd making his UFC return, taking on Ben Johnston.
Very, very early.
Take care.